when we're standing over here, we can actually understand it. He's saying Yerushalayim harim saviv, right? Jerusalem, hills enfolding, right? Hills are surrounding Jerusalem. I think that we can, standing over here, we can see that sentence and how it's happening, right? So we look around at the hills and we're seeing what King David saw. Wait, do we actually see what he saw? No. The hills were the same hills, but they were bare, they were empty, right? We have to remember there's no houses over here, or over here, or over here. At the time of King David, none of this was here. So where was the city that King David is conquering? Where is it? It's over here. Correct. It's right behind us. So when we're talking about the city of David, and we're going to explain the borders, I'm going to meet a volunteer. Okay, who wants to volunteer? Can I demonstrate on you? It's okay. I'm not scary, and I don't need children. Okay, go like this with your hands. Okay, what's your name? Simon. Okay, guys, Simon's hands are showing us the borders of the city of David. So if we look at Simon's left hand, that is it's the Kidron Valley, right, which is down here. If you look, do you see there's a path in the middle? In between there are two hills, right? In the middle we have a path that turns into a street. Some of you may not be able to see it from where you're standing. You come a little bit close, it turns into a street. That is called the Kidron Valley. So that is one side of the border. The other is the Tyropian Valley, which is Simon's right hand is the Tyropian Valley. Where is that valley? It starts, do you see that there's a white car driving on the street? And that car is standing on a bridge. All we gotta do is stretch an imaginary line from that car all the way down to this valley, and we get the triangle that Simon's demonstrating, right? We get the city of David. So, for example, if we're using Simon, his head would be the Temple Mount, would be Har Moriah, where the temple used to be, and his shoulders would be the king's palace. All right, thank you, Simon. Very brave volunteer. Okay, so those are our borders. This is the city that we're talking about. Now, what we have to remember is that that triangle that we demonstrated is only relevant to King David's time. After King David, there were many different additional parts, right? So if this is the triangle that Simon showed us, it adds up. The city gets much bigger, right? We have this. King Solomon, he builds a temple. All right, he builds Beit HaMikdash, and then we have an even bigger space when Hezekiah, the king of Judah, comes along and expands the city. The second temple period, this place gets so big that I would need a bigger page, right? It gets much bigger, and the land grows. That live over there, and over here, where there are two antennas sticking out, you see, and many trees. That is called Armon HaNatziv, the palace of the commissioner. Do you see the palace itself? The palace itself is a little bit to the right of the antennas. You can see a building with a flag on it. That is where the British commissioner used to live. Until the year 1948, the British were ruling this place, and so he lived over there. Now, if you look a little bit more to the right, you will see a neighborhood called Abu Tol, right? It's a different hill over there. And that neighborhood is where the border line between Israel and Jordan went. In the war of until 1967, this area was part of Jordan, right? So if we went 52 years back in time and we'd be here, we would be seeing a lot of Jordanian people. This is part of a different authority over there, where unfortunately some of us can't see because of that annoying tree. Behind the annoying tree is a blue church that looks like this. Right, and another one next to it. Over there, close to the wall, very, very high up. Can you see it? Or am I just talking in the air? Okay, right, so that over there is Mount Zion, Har Zion, right? That is also where they say that maybe King David is buried over there. We don't really know, right? But that mount, people started living there in the time of Hezekiah, the king of Judah, long after the time of King David himself. Now, if you look behind you to this mount over there, that is the Temple Mount, Mount Moriah, whatever you want to call it. Today, what we can see on that mount is the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Further inside, right, the gray dome, the gray thing, right, that's a mosque. And further inside is a golden dome. And that golden dome is where both temples were, right, both Batei Mikdash were on that mount and then destroyed. And today this is what is on the mount. That is also the mount that a story many years ago happened with Abraham. Do you know the story? Abraham comes to Mount Moriah. He comes from Beersheba, right? This man comes with his son. He was told that he has to sacrifice him, right? And at the last minute they say to him, wait, don't do it. And that mount became something important. Maybe King David even knew the story and decided to buy that land. Okay.